What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Good Luck Chuck. And everybody gather round. It's Lucky Tuesday! That's right, and on this Lucky Tuesday, I have a story for you all. A quest, if you will, on this journey in which I discovered such great lore. Now, the night the world got wind of Lorcana promo set some card con on fire. So instantly I had to do a little more digging. Did some research, right? Disney did a good job of telling us everything and telling us nothing all at once. We know prices, but didn't know where and when we could even get our hands on the product, especially those who seek a booster box. Then all signs pointed to August 18th. Keep that date in mind. As we get closer to the date, the options died with each day. Inner thoughts while calling local card shops: we're not gonna get it. Yeah, we're getting it, but don't know how much. First come, first serve. And I work a 9 to 5. One per customer is one I heard. Scammers and resellers changing the game for your boy, the chosen one, Good Luck Chuck over here. Like no pre-orders and none are going online. Then the day before release and something said we should call. Always listen to that voice. The sales rep on the phone stated that units were uploaded online. Coincidentally, a mirror was there for me to look at Chuck like, oh really? Having been on the site while making the call, I say, no, there aren't. I was just on your site. Dear value customer, we apologize for lack of quantity. But if you want to leave your name, email, and phone number to be placed in line for when we get more product, is what I hoped they would say. They actually just said, oh, so they're gone then. But they gave a spiel on what could have happened the day before release date. But alas, got the lore. While I have you, real quick, we're at 88 subs, so thank you. We're still trying to reach 100, alright? Remember, like, comment, share now, okay? And subscribe for those of you that haven't. Be greatly appreciated. But right now it's time to unveil the next golden plate at the potluck. Okay, here we have this beautiful Captain Hook sleeve. Yes, that is a sleeve. That is not the glimmer. That is not the card. Okay, is this beautiful Simba card. Ooh, nice card. You get to draw a card when you play this card. But enough about the game. That is this week's potluck. Alright, now let's get back to the action. The object of the game is to use the glimmers. The glimmers are what I'm showing you right now, the cards. Use these glimmers to collect lore across the realm. You have your character cards. Your character cards have strength and willpower. The strength is the number on the left with the circle and the number in it, and the willpower is on the right inside of the shield. Most characters have a lore value. The lore is located on the right side of the card inside of the description box. Now that lore value is important because that lets you know how much lore that character can collect at one time. Then you have item and action cards, so that's how you identify the difference in cards. The item cards will say item on it, the action cards will say action on it. The character cards have strength and willpower. Each player starts their hand with 7 cards. So they say the ink is what powers Lorcana. So every card has an ink cost. The ink cost is located on the top left in the little hexagon with the number in it. You see it right there? Some have the swirls on it and some don't. If it has a swirl around it, that card can be put into the ink well. Your ink well is essentially like your mana pool. I mean, that's really how, only other way that I understand it. I haven't played a lot of card games, so I don't know what's another way to use like resources to activate a card. Just think of it like a mana pool. So Inkwell is where you can get ink from. You can turn a card into ink once per turn, so you can add an ink to your Inkwell once a turn, and as soon as you have enough ink to play a card, then you can play one. But that's all you can do on the first turn you play a card. The ink is still wet on that card, so that card can't do anything. On your next turn, that card's ink will dry, and then you can use that card. Unless it has an ability that states otherwise, that's how. So you play a card, and then you use a card on your next turn. And how you can use a card is by exerting it. So item cards can be played right away, unlike the character card. Action cards are event cards that happen right away as well. But as soon as that action is done, that card goes to your discard pile. Now, song cards are a bit special. You can play a song by paying the ink cost, or you can do what the card says, which usually it'll tell you to exert another card that you have in play to use the song for free without having to pull from your Inkwell. Questing and challenging is where your characters will do a lot of the bulk of the game. Questing for lore is the key to victory. That's essentially how you win the game. You have to collect the lore. Challenging is how you can slow down your opponent. To get rid of their character cards, they cannot quest, therefore less lore. Now, when you send a character on a quest, that character's lore value is what you will collect from their quest. So let's say you want to challenge your opponent. They're up too many lore. You want to slow them down so that you can catch up. That's where challenging comes into play, where we will use their strength and willpower number in the challenge. So the strength number is how much damage they can deal during a challenge, and the willpower number is how much damage they can take during a challenge. So dealing damage requires the strength of your character to be equal to or greater than the power of the opposing character. If that is the case, then that opposing character is banished, and that player's card goes to the discard pile. However, if the opposing character's strength is higher than your willpower, then your card will also be banished and go to the discard pile. Now, you can gang up on a character if it's too beefy. So there's a new phenomenon in the shift. Now, a shift is a card that can be paid an ink cost to play, or if you have the same name of that card already in play, you can shift that on top of it to play it. And there is a smaller, or there's usually a less of an ink cost to play it. So the shift character combines with the first character. It keeps any damage and effects on the original version. So the shifted character also has all of the rules of the card you played. So if you shift onto a character that has an ability, you can keep that original ability, and also you get the ability of the new shifted card. Right? So the stacked card is now essentially this combined force, and it will leave the challenge area once it is defeated in a challenge, right? So without playing it and showing you, that's probably the best I can do at telling you how to play it without you actually seeing it. So there you have it. The object is to race to get the lure across the realm. So you might see me around playing. Hopefully this set is an interest to some of you. Hopefully, TCG can be kept alive and not just as collector's cash type type of thing, but it's also the enjoyment of the game. But as always, I'm Good Luck Chuck. This is Luck Studios. Peace.